Hello YouTube fam, how y'all doing? It's your Uncle Tim. This is Uncle Tim Rants and Reviews, a channel that I run and I review. Fam, you know what? A lot of people been talking to me about, hey, you making all of this fuss, you always complaining, you always bitching about, stuff not being in stores. Won't you just do what everybody else do, pre-order? Fam, we done did things here on this channel talking about pre-orders all day long. And I think a lot of people don't understand. Sometimes with pre-orders, you get them when they feel like sending them to you. With pre-orders, most of the time, the stuff is on the shelf already before the damn pre-order's even sent out. So you're trying to figure out, what the hell? Did I supposed to get this before everybody else because I pre-ordered it? Or this is just some fallacy that's in my mind, that I'm just thinking that this is going to guarantee me this item. Man, most of the time, shit, either you're not able to pre-order this stuff because this stuff is gone before you even do it. And dude, I work a full-time job like a lot of you all do. I got other shit going on like a lot of you all do. I just don't have the time to actually sit here and wait for shit to drop, then order. I just can't. Bruh, shit is real for me, man. So, I'm not saying that it ain't real for you. And for the people who can pre-order, man, I appreciate you, man. That's love. But I'm saying for me, right now, that's like a no. And half of the time when I pre-order shit, it never comes. Most of the time it's canceled and other things. Because I be trying to figure out, how do they got way more, they ran out of pre-orders at Target because everybody, ordered the merchandise. So there's no more items to be ordered. But all of a sudden, there's more pre-orders. Why? Because they cancel the stuff. To get more people interested. Man, see, this is the shit that gets you, man. And see, this is the thing that I don't understand. A lot of people were telling me in comments before I deleted the shit, man, you over there trying to shop at Ollie's and Ross and all of it. Man, this shit is behind you. Most of it is full price. And I'm just being real. A lot of this shit is full price. This is why I said I'm not going down that rabbit hole again. I don't want to be that person again, whereas I'm paying full price for everything. Man, that's no deal. That's no fun. What are you thinking? You think I want to pay full price for shit? Hell no. I'm using my common sense on all of this, man. I'm looking at it just like this. If you're going to order stuff, you need to think about stuff. If you think about just constantly buying full price stuff, then that's a no. Do I think Ollie's and Ross is going to be some sort of godsend for collectors? No. I believe what happened last year was a fluke. If it happens again, man, a lot of these companies, just like a lot of commenters said, are producing less now because a lot of it went to clearance. And it's not, you thinking that people didn't want to buy the merchandise. A lot of y'all, don't really understand retail. Retail is having a problem right now. They're having a problem with hours, giving employees hours to actually put this shit up. If you don't have the hours to put stuff up, guess what? It's gonna sit in the back. And what happened? All these companies sent the shit to the warehouse for them to do that palletized buy with Ross, DD's Discount, and all those other places. This is the thing that you're missing. Stores run on hours. When you go to the line and you don't see cashiers, it's because they don't have the money. The thing is, they trying to do self-checkout, but see, the thing with self-checkout, there's been a lot of people stealing. I don't give a damn what neighborhood you in. People been stealing. And, Target and Walmart been complaining about that. A lot of them are talking about going away from self-checkout. A lot of stores are trying to go away from not taking cash. Because, a lot of stores were saying, well, we're going to stop taking cash and just do debit, and credit and all that, because, during the pandemic, it was seen that money was somehow, able to transmit, some unhealthy stuff. Which in actuality, if you thought about it, the food that you consume at the store, like the fruit, the vegetables, that stuff is already contaminated. Your clothes and everything else is contaminated. But see, they're choosing. Once you get rid of money, and see, a lot of people don't understand that. See, cash is king. Cash is king for a reason. They can't track cash, but they can track your debit and credit transactions. And that's all that's about. You can freeze, debit and credit. You can freeze banking accounts, but you can't freeze cash. Cash is liquid. And this is why they're trying to do away with cash. But see, the thing is, for small businesses and things like that, people who are doing jobs like going by, places and cutting grass for people, kids and stuff like that, lemonade stands, they trying to do away with all that. Why? Because it sets a precedent like, oh man, they're not paying taxes on this money and this and that. You can be paying taxes. But the biggest thing out of all of this is, where does it stop? And the reason why I went into a lot more stuff here, because it's a lot more shit going on than you actually think. When you see a lot of people telling you they don't want to pay full price, a lot of us pay full price for stuff. But again, in this particular day and age, dude, hyperinflation is a motherfucker. How could you afford this stuff? People are like, well, I'm still paying $24.99 for them. Stop being so cheap. Bro, I'm going to tell you something. People need to stop that. People make it seem like everything you got behind you was like $5.99 at Ross. Bro, sit down with that shit. They don't have Super 7 at Ross. They don't have Super 7 at Ollie's. Bro, sit down. Half of this stuff is full. I mean, majority of it is full price. Dude, we just don't understand that when a person says they're tired of just spending on non-essential items like toys, bro, I'm looking at it like this. I'm trying to actually balance out the equation. If I'm going to be into this the way that I am, I want to make sure that I get what I want out of it. Like I told you with the comics are dead. As far as for kids, and I know people say, well, my nephews and nieces, they read them. A rare few. You rarely ever see a person actually reading a book. People be on their tablets, and having that stuff read to them and, all of that stuff, man. What happened to, the earnest of just sitting down and let, yourself just read this shit, man? These kids are not spending $5 and $6 on books, bro. Just not. And, that's an older generation thing. Like I said, GameStop, I was looking at Rothschild Stokes, looking at his video, and on the video I noticed something. At GameStop, I noticed the prices of Funko Pops had dropped. Like they got an all new price on it. The prices are dropping because they can't move this shit. At one point in time, Funkos were actually selling at GameStop really good. Now they're not. Dude, the novelty of the item has worn off. The allure of Funko Pops is wearing off with a lot of people. I'm not saying with everybody, but I'm saying with the people who were novice. And the people who were novice, they were buying a ton of them because they had shit else to do, man. Don't get me wrong. Funko Pops were doing good before the pandemic, but during the pandemic, they exploded. People had shit to do, and they were just something to do, and they were fun. But now people got so much other shit to do, and people left it alone. Now think about it. Why you think a lot of resellers, as far as on YouTube and places that you can actually see it, they're going away from consoles, selling consoles. They're just selling games now because a lot of people are not sitting in the house anymore. If anything, they're selling handhelds and shit like that because it's something you could do on the go. And these are some of the things that I'm looking at. But those markets that we're talking about, as far as all this stuff, man, is dying down. And, we sit here and get mad when people want deals. People want deals because, man, you know what? As much as you paying for this stuff, man, you're really not getting anything for it. You're getting a lot of repainted figures, man, and they cost the same price. Look at the Trouble Bubble. Look at Python Patrol. Look at Tiger Force, man. They just repainted figures, man. Shit. The same thing if you look at with DC Multiverse happens. Marvel Legends, if you don't buy quality figures from them, you stuck with some of those weird figures. So you gotta look at the figures and see if they're worth buying. And people tell me, they say, What do you mean if the figure is worth buying? What I mean is a lot of these figures are not worth picking up. And I'm just being real. You have to keep that in mind, man, because a lot of shit is changing. Um, you know, I think a lot of people don't see that, most of the time with this collecting thing, things are changing, man. There's a big change coming. There's a big market and understanding that shit will change quick. Man, like I said, man, I usually do eBay and stuff like that, but like I said, I stopped. It just like it clicked in my head and I stopped and I was like, man, I don't want to spend no more money. And after I did this giveaway, I was thinking, man, I might give away some of this stuff that I got just sitting around that I'm not using. It's just amazing if you really look at everything and how it's going. So with that being said, it's just everything, man. I'm starting to really look at how, I spend money and how um, everything is going. Man, man. I was just looking at the video game consoles that I got back here. I was looking at some of the games I got back there that y'all don't see. Like the PSP, the PS Vita, uh, GameCube. Dude, I have so many damn games back here that you just don't realize, but they all in binders. And if you seen it all, you'd be like, man, and I got a whole like 2-stack tray of nothing but Game Boy games, man. And Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color, Game Boy. Dude, it's crazy how this situation works. That's why I say you sit back, you actually look at everything, and you see where you want to go from there, man. Collecting is something, but collecting is also something if you pay attention to it, man. Man, I'm trying to understand what I want to do here, man. And I'm starting to change, direction with stuff that I was in, primarily I was in one situation, one area, but I'm like, man, I'm starting to change directions, man. When you buy too much, it becomes clutter. If you have too much where you can't display it, it's clutter. And like I said, I'm about to take stuff out of boxes and, like I said, I got an extra Starrier castle, some Wolverine mask. I got some shit that I just want to just part ways with. And I do a giveaway for it. Because, man, I'm going to tell you something. Sometimes it ain't worth holding on to everything. Sometimes you got to let stuff go, man. And that's just the real thing in this. You got to let shit go. And you got to be able to move on and be happy and at peace with actually moving on with some of this stuff, man. Because, when you got too much, man, it messes with your head. Because you're like, where the hell am I going to put all this stuff at? What I'm going to do here? What I'm going to do with that? I never use this. I never use that. Now what I'm thinking about is, shit, I'm about to get rid of some of this damn stuff and about to make it that way, man. I got stuff sitting off to the side of me, man, and I'm like, man, I'm going to unbox this stuff, put this stuff up, either I'm going to put it on a shelf, but you know what? Then I really thought about it with these NBA starting lineup figures, man. I really dropped the ball on that, man. That was a FOMO buy. That was like, I seen everybody buying it, and, I like the figures, man, but my whole thing is, man, dude, that's why I stopped buying shit that I seen everybody else buy. It just don't work out that way. So sometimes you got to keep that in mind, man. You really got to keep it in mind. But these are just my thoughts and opinions on everything, man. And I'm starting to really pay attention. And, people are talking about, yeah, the hunt is dead. Just order online. Dude, you may not get what you want. Half of the time, a lot of people who order online don't get the shit that's in the box. It's usually some other shit, and they gotta talk to Amazon to get their money back. Or, you can't get your money back with eBay just like that. You gotta go through processes with eBay. And this is why I say, you need to really pay attention to all this. This shit really, really goes a different way. And this is why I say, pay attention, man. Just pay attention. And this is what I'm doing now. But to later, fam, thank you for watching. Peace out.